The white blotch approaching the shore is a pair of swans. They got tangled with one another and they understand that without the humans' help, they are doomed. So when they spot the passers-by, they swim right towards them. The swans' wings and necks are in a disarray and require a lot of effort and precision in order to not cause any damage. But now these proud birds can spread their wings.
No to vegan, only people who are really educated choose it.
With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
If the sight of a peaceful, loving child and mother, or a feeble elder on the street doesn't stir any protective power in your heart, then make war. Welcome home, said the devils.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Qinghai's message entitled The Story of Mahakasyapa Vegan, Part 4 of 10, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on July 14, 2024.
Supreme Master Qinghai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. She has been invited to lecture on the Kuan Yin method of meditation throughout the world. We now invite you to view Walk the Way of Love, an introduction to Supreme Master Qinghai.
We'll search high and low for a little love to bestow on all beings in all corners of existence. Supreme Master Qinghai, vegan.
Supreme Master Qinghai, as she has affectionately become known, lives a message that walks the way of love. A renowned humanitarian, artist, and spiritual visionary, her love and assistance has extended beyond all cultural and racial boundaries to people around the world. The needy and homeless, institutions of medical research, war veterans, the disadvantaged, the physically and mentally handicapped, refugees and victims of natural disasters, etc. We witness countless reminders of the compassion, the trademark of this caring lady and the international foundation that has grown out of her loving example.
Whatever we can share, begin with share. And then we will feel a subtle change in ourselves. More love will be pouring into our consciousness, and we will be aware of something. And that is a beginning. We are here to learn to grow, as well as to learn to use our power, our limitless power of love and creativity, in order to make a better world wherever we happen to be incarnated. Don't worry, Don't worry, I pray for you, okay, honey?
Not only are human beings the blessed beneficiaries of her kindness, animal people from different species are also the recipients of her boundless benevolence.
You okay, boy? You okay? Yeah, come on, baby. Hey, look at you. Oh, quack. You happy? Quack. Hello, you grow so big now, you. Bon appetito. I love you. Good appetite. This is one of the reasons why we should be vegan. Love for all beings, extending love.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, was born in Central Olac, or Vietnam. During her early years, she was often found helping hospital patients, the needy, as well as injured animal people in whichever way she could. As a young adult, she moved to Europe to study and continued there as a translator for the Red Cross. She soon discovered that pain and suffering exist in all corners of the globe, and her search for the remedy to this became the foremost goal in her life. She was happily married at the time to a German doctor, and although it was an extremely difficult decision for both of them, her husband agreed to a separation. She then embarked on what became a 2-year-plus journey in search for spiritual understanding. Finally, in the deepest reaches of the Himalayas in India, she found an enlightened master who imparted to her the Kuan Yin method, a meditation method on the inner heavenly light and sound. After a period of practice, she became fully enlightened. Soon after her return from the Himalayas, at the earnest request of those around her, Supreme Master Ching Hai shared the Kuan Yin method with others, encouraging them to look within to find their own greatness. Through the Kuan Yin method of meditation, they also attained greater fulfillment, happiness, and peace. Before long, invitations arrived from the United States, etc.,
I saw that I was everywhere and in every creature.
Europe,
To see God is very, very simple.
Asia,
All religions tell you be a good person here and find heaven while you can.
Australia,
We are the sons and daughters of God. We are ourselves, the Supreme Master.
Africa,
I will show you how to get direct teaching
and South America,
and keep the commandments and try to lead a more vegan life.
as well as from important organizations for Supreme Master Ching Hai to give lectures.
The peace and love that we most often talk about and seek, we have within ourselves. You must look inside and find your own treasure and find the real lasting happiness. The future is in our hands. So you make it beautiful or you make it worse. It's up to you.
Supreme Master Ching Hai has realized many spontaneous talents that she expresses through artistic paintings and creations, music and poetry, and aesthetic jewelry and clothing designs, expressing the inner and outer beauty. The income generated from her artistic creations has enabled Supreme Master Ching Hai to create an independent source of funding for humanitarian activities in support of her noble mission of assisting God's children in their times of need. Although she does not seek acknowledgement of any kind, Supreme Master Ching Hai has been given awards worldwide by government officials and private organizations on numerous occasions. They include the World Peace Award, the World Spiritual Leadership Award, the Award for Promotion of Human Rights, the World Citizen Humanitarian Award, the Award for Outstanding Public Service to Mankind, the 2006 Goosey Peace Prize, the Los Angeles Music Week Certificate of Commendation, and first place silver for the 27th Annual Telly Awards 2006. In addition, October 25th and February 22nd have been proclaimed as the Supreme Master Ching Hai Day in the United States.
She also brings love around the world where there is hate. She brings hope where there is despair. And she brings understanding where there is misunderstanding. She is the light of a great person, an angel of mercy for all of us.
Agradecer a la Suprema Maestra su liderazgo, agradecerle su optimismo, agradecerle ese don de gente que tiene que la hace tan única y tan especial.
Una impresión muy grata de ver un corazón tan noble, tan dispuesto a servir. Ella está sirviendo a todos los seres humanos, está sirviendo al planeta para salvarlo, para rescatarlo. Tiene un corazón noble, pero también un gran liderazgo. Sé que van a suceder las cosas que tienen que suceder.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is one of the truly dedicated people of this era, helping others find and create a beautiful vision of our future. Many great people in history have had a dream, and in her own words, so does Supreme Master Ching Hai.
I dream that all the world will become peaceful. I dream that everyone becomes the Buddha. I dream that all the killing will stop. I dream that all the children will walk in peace and harmony. I dream that all the nations shake hands with each other, protect each other, and help each other. I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billions, trillions of years to produce this planet, and it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love.
What else do I want to tell you? I keep telling things and it jumps from one thing to another. Mahakashipa never wanted to marry, but his parents wanted him to marry, of course, because his son, and he will inherit all their business, their properties, and he will have children for them and all that. So they really kept pressuring him to marry, but he said he doesn't want to. And they keep pressuring him. So one day, he asked a very famous, very good sculptor, who makes statues, to make a statue as the most beautiful woman you can ever imagine for him. And he brought it home. He said, parents, if you want me to marry, this is the kind of girl with virtues, with the heart who wants to also devote to spiritual practice. Then I will marry her. That was difficult for the parents to find such a beautiful girl. They didn't even know where. And then he said, okay, then let him leave home to beg for alms everywhere in the world, anywhere in the country at least, to find that woman for them. So the parents, because of the prospect that he is going to marry, let him go. So even then he was very young, but he already had this kind of monk mentality, monk spirit, monk's heart. So he went out, left the family behind, taking nothing, and with a begging bowl, went for alms and walked from one place to another, making that excuse just to find a spiritual teacher worthy to teach him. He was very intelligent as well. He knew many things, he learned everything, and he was perfect in many ways. So many teachers also could not continue to teach him anymore. But as fate would have it, the parents somehow had a friend who found this beautiful girl who looked exactly like the statue that he had made, even though he never met her before. So he had to marry. And the girl that the parents wanted him to marry also had a similar spirit like him. Didn't want to marry, just wanted to find a master and practice spiritually. So somehow she was very sad to have to be forced to marry because her parents were so eager to marry her because his family was very, very rich and he was also good looking, educated, virtuous, gentle, sweet and all that. So she could not, argue with the parents. In the old times, whatever your parents said to you, you just had to obey, especially in the matter of marriage. They picked your partner for you. They picked your husband, your wife for you, and you couldn't say no. Yes. But mostly they would consult their astrology, the expert to see if both of them have a compatible spirit, like almost the same things, and have similar family heritage, a richness. Otherwise, there might be conflict. And they ask the astrologers whether or not the children are compatible, whether or not they will be okay. Many other things they ask to make sure before they marry their children to each other. If that family has money and all that, otherwise, if it's just a poor family, they just do it. Mostly, maybe they couldn't care too much, they couldn't afford too much. Now, both of them married, but they didn't know each other before, of course. And摩訶迦葉 didn't want to do anything with the wife. So in the evening, the girl was crying, after the wedding night, she was crying. And then摩訶迦葉asked her what's the reason. At first, she didn't want to say it because she couldn't believe that she had such a good husband like摩訶迦葉. But finally, after asking many times, she told him that she doesn't want to have any physical contact with any man. She doesn't want to be married. It's just because her parents forced her into this marriage, and now she's going to be ruined and doomed, being a wife. So, he was so happy to hear her say that. She just wanted to practice spiritually, wanted to find a real master. She didn't want any kind of mundane, physical, thing at all. And then he told her also his ideal. So they talked to each other, exchanged ideas. They both were very, very happy. So they decided that they would stay together, no problem, and help each other to find the master somehow. Whoever finds first will tell the other, yes, by chance or by any news or any other person's recommendation. So they didn't sleep with each other, yeah? They had 2 beds, slept in 2 separate quarters. And until their parents found out, they didn't like that. So then they had only 1 bed. They were forced to sleep in 1 bed together. But then they had the solution, like one slept and the other walked around or sat in meditation in the other corner, on the floor. And they took turns to do that. Therefore, they never had to sleep together, touching each other in bed. That's the kind of marriage they had. I remember many years ago, I read a story about a couple, not for spiritual reasons, but for a bet, that they slept together, but they never had any physical, contact until 5 years later. Then they won the bet. Their friends wanted to bet them because they're beautiful and handsome. So they bet that they could not do that, but they could, in all honor. And they had cameras and all that to prove it. So in the end, they got a lot of money from the bet, and they could afford to buy good things or bought a new house. It could happen if you have determination in your mind that you do that for some purpose. You marry for some purpose, but not to have this kind of intimate physical togetherness. Yes, it's possible. That's how many monks also become celibate, because they also train themselves. They use their mind power to control their urge, their hormonal desire. Monks and nuns do that. If you live in a community only with men, if you're not kind of homosexual or bisexual or something like that, then it's all right to live together. Nobody would feel anything. That's why one of the Buddhist principles, is that they ask you whether or not you are a normal man or you have a tendency for the same sex or for both sexes, things like that, before you are accepted to be in monks or nuns community, to take the vow. I told you before. And if you live together only with women, nuns together, then I guess you don't contact much with outside people unless for some necessary short time. Then you probably will have no problem with that. No problem. You just keep yourself busy. You read sutras, you read the Bible, you read all kinds of saint stories, you do charitable work. Then you will never have time for physical desires. The same with the monks, unless sometimes it happens naturally because of too much hormones in their dream or in their sleep. But that is not their fault, and it doesn't count as breaking the precepts. Don't worry about my cough. It will be okay. The Karma King told me that that cough is caused by my interference with the karma of some people in Russia. Some of the Russian fighter soldiers who were released came back home and they molested or killed other Russians who had nothing to do with them. It's just their tendency is like that. Or there have been criminals in jail before, and the government of Russia converted them into battlefield soldiers. And when they came home, they just do the same thing they did before. And I interfere with some of their karma, and that's why I suffer extra as well. To prevent their criminal deeds and to help their victims. Oh, we did many things for the Russians and Ukraine, but still, it's not possible to stop yet. Probably needs some more time. Both sides, lose heavily, but they still cannot give up. It is terrible, this war. Sometimes I feel myself I could not bear the suffering of humans, of animal people, of trees, plants, insects, and everything, even fish, people, and small things. Snail people, they are in the garden or on the street, and people walk around and step on them. Oh God, imagine all these shells piercing into their sensitive, soft body. Oh, terrible. They have the shell because they need to protect themselves. But then when it's crushed into their body, oh, it's horrible. Everything hurts me in this world. I don't know how I can bear it so far. I just try to forget. And ask heavens to bless them, to lift them up, to liberate them from their miserable fate. So everything you do for others, mind you, you will bear the karma, okay? It's not possible that you help someone and you become karma-free. It's not like that. Somehow you have to bear some.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.
There is a saying that meat is like an addiction, and you can get addicted to meat, and it's very bad for you, and it actually changes your personality by eating meat. Shamil Al-Prado, vegetarian.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
Tender-hearted viewers, we thank you for your company for today's episode entitled The Story of Mahakasyapa Vegan, Part 4 of 10, on Between Master and Disciples. Coming up next is selections from Pistis Sophia, Divine Light, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom, right after Noteworthy News. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more constructive programming.
Being vegan, having peace, doing good deeds, life is a feast.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/BMD.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/BMD.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.